Hello. One of the most valuable professional service activities we do in academia is provide peer review for books and book chapters, for journal manuscripts, for grant proposals, and for conferences. Each of these different types of review have a number of similarities, but also some nuances. My name is Richard Hartshorn, and I'm the editor-in-chief of the Journal of Technology and Teacher Education, the official journal for the Society for Information Technology and Teacher Education. And I'm here to share with you 10 tips that might help simplify and demystify proposal reviewing for the site conference. At number 10, and while this one may seem obvious, it's important to ask yourself, is this work situated at the intersection of technology and teacher education? For example, sometimes a study will use teachers as the subjects for convenience or for other reasons, but the study really isn't teacher education focused. And while we at Site define teacher education broadly, including in-service teacher professional learning, teacher education faculty development, as well as pre-service teacher preparation, it's important that there be some element of teacher education included in a conference proposal. If the work does not do this, then it may be useful to the authors to provide comments on how this might be done with their work, if that's possible. At number 9, one way to frame reviews is in terms of the manuscript's alignment. Using the research questions as a foundation, evaluate whether the main elements of the paper, the purpose and the rationale, the literature review, the theoretical or conceptual framework, the methods, the results, and the implications are all aligned. If you find that there are misalignments, for example, the methods do not address the research questions or the results do not relate back to the original purpose, then you can point these out and make suggestions on how to bring the manuscript into alignment. At number 8, it's important to consider conference themes when conducting reviews. However, it is also important to consider that many authors may view these themes differently. So consider this, and if a work does not align with the conference themes, it's not always a cause for rejection, but it may be useful to provide comments on how the work can be more closely aligned with the conference theme or themes. At number 7, something that I often do is suggest alternate paper or presentation types during the review process. For example, I might suggest a paper submitted as a full paper that is not fully developed enough to be moved to a brief paper. Or if I feel a work is very forward-thinking and innovative and will generate considerable discussion, but maybe it was submitted as a poster, I might recommend a round table or a brief paper or even a full paper in some instances. So as you're conducting your review, consider alternative presentation or paper types for submissions that might be misaligned with the submission itself. At number 6, it's important to consider whether the work is extending a conversation in the field. In doing this, ask yourself if the work is situated in the literature. Does it cite previous work appropriately? Does it add to what has already been done? Do references support this? If not, then provide feedback accordingly. At number 5, and sort of a twofer here, and an obvious one, provide comments on the general quality and value. Related to value, will site participants be interested or benefit from the work? If not, provide comments to this. This is important as we want it to be something that conference attendees will be excited to see, and we also want the interaction between the attendees and the presenters. A number of these 10 tips relate to general quality as well, but you will want to consider the overall clarity, the previously discussed alignment, and whether the references are updated, and other general quality items as you are conducting your review. At number 4, I find it useful to develop a general template for reviews and then modify based on the individual submission being reviewed. Templates might have a series of categories for comments, kind of aligned with some of these tips, and then a number of comments for each of those categories. Then, as you're reviewing, you can modify the template based on the specific conference proposal being reviewed. And this simplifies the review process, but also helps with consistency of your reviews. Coming in at number 3, brevity, clarity, and consistency of proposal reviews is important. I know I'm providing a lot here, but many of these go together and will become second nature for you during the review process. However, it's important to remember that conference reviews are much shorter than journal manuscript reviews, as conference proposals are shorter than journal manuscript submissions. And the focus of a conference proposal review is more to help the authors refine their proposals. Typically, a couple paragraphs is sufficient for a conference proposal review. And number 2, This sort of aligns with a number of the previous comments as well, but it's important to focus on the implications. Does the conference proposal provide implications, or suggested implications will be discussed in the presentations? Specifically, do the authors address the so what and the now what aspect of the work? Lastly, be both constructive and supportive. It's important to find something positive to compliment in your review, but also provide comments that will improve the work. In a nutshell, remember the purpose of the reviews, but also that site is the friendly conference. So there it is, 10 tips for reviewing conference proposals at site. If you're not already a member or reviewer, you can join and sign up to be a reviewer at site.aace.org. I hope you found this information useful, and I look forward to seeing you at site.